Hey, folks, my guest today is Simon Woodside. He's the co-founder of MedStack, which is helping secure platform for digital health. He's got a CS degree at the University of Waterloo and is part of the Apple Core Operating System Group, engineering program manager before that. Simon, you ready to take us to the top?
I am. Thank you,
Uh,
Nathan.
all right. So tell us what MedStack is. Are these hospitals that are paying you for HIPAA compliance solutions, or where are you playing?
We definitely are dealing with hospitals and insurance companies, but they are at one remove from us. So our direct customers are digital health app makers, and then they in turn are selling to hospitals and insurance companies.
So give me an example of a customer. Can you name one or two?
Sure, give you a couple. So one is really cool company called Keratin, and they're in neonatal intensive care units, and they are operating a system that manages bottles of mother's milk, which is critical that they have to be always go to the right person at the right time without too much delay. So that's a pretty mission critical system with a lot of availability requirements. And another really awesome customer is called Inkblot. They are doing digital health, they're doing digital health therapy. So
Hmm.
it's like remote telemedicine, one-on-one with real people, psychological therapy, psychotherapy, and they're pretty big. They were just bought by an insurance company, Green Shield. So yeah, it's a
And
couple of
Simon, what
examples.
are these companies paying you on average per month to use the technology?
Yeah, so the average is, there's definitely quite the range from small to large, but kind of like typically between, our average is going to fall like 1,500 to 2,000 US dollars a month.
Okay, so that's up significantly since our last interview in April of 2020, almost double the ARPU you told me back then. Are you moving upstream on purpose?
Yeah, I mean, we're not no, so we're not trying to exclude small companies. I would say we've had a lot of companies grow on the platform. We've had new companies join that are bigger. We have changed our pricing model. So we've moved to more of like a SaaS pricing model where we have like a base set of tiers, and then the variable component is much smaller. So it's basically like because we're a hosting platform, we just pass through the price of like a virtual machine or a database instance. So yeah, we've just adjusted our pricing, and we've had a bunch of customers grow a lot too.
Understood. So how many total customers are you working with today?
Yeah, I think it's around 90.
90. Okay. Yeah, you told
Yeah.
me 70 about a year and a half ago. So you've added about, call it 10, 20 more, which is great. And then can I mean, can I multiply those together? 90 times 2,000 bucks a month. You guys are what, 180 grand a month right now in revenue?
That's about right. Yeah, we're just shy of 2 million ARR, so it's like probably a little bit less than that, but we'll be hitting 2 million ARR by the end of the year.
I love stories like this. I don't know if you remember, our first interview was back in the middle of 2018. Do you remember that?
Well, so yeah, so you interviewed my CEO, business partner, co-founder, Balaji,
Yes.
I think twice now, right?
Yes. Oh, okay. That was him, not
Yeah,
you. Got it.
it was him. Yeah, so I'm the CTO.
Very
So
cool.
I did get some of the numbers and make sure I had them right, but I'm more expert in other parts of the business.
Well, I should have begged you to write a check back in 2018 because Balaji shared back then you guys were doing about $30,000 a month in revenue. You're now 5 times as big here 4 years
Yep.
later. So this is an exciting story. Now, Simon, have you been able to do this funded by customer growth after your 2.4 million seed round in 2019, or did you raise more?
We've raised more. Yeah, so we actually just
Ah,
completed a raise of 3.1 million, and so that was led by Blue Ventures and Telus, one of our previous investors as well.
mhm.
But yeah, I mean, we're making good money as well. So I mean, theoretically, we might have been able to go revenue positive, but we want to grow. Like we see a huge opportunity, like you say $1 billion opportunity.
Mhm.
Like it's bigger than that, and so we want to continue to grow quickly, and that meant and we have some great and some of our investors are great partners as well, so they open doors for us.
And you and Balaji are the two co-founders, right? You just split 50-50 at the start.
Yep.
So I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you
So
want
me
to
and Ball co-founded the company. Yeah, back in 2015.
2015. Okay, yeah. So obviously just managing equity, right? I mean, you don't want to take money unless you really have a good use for it to drive that growth because you two are both managing dilution. I mean, most people in their seed round are selling about 20% of the business. Is that sort of where you guys came in at?
I don't have the exact numbers. We've done well though. Like we're pretty much on target in terms of what you'd expect. Yeah,
Okay,
like
so got it. So you
20%,
were right
15,
in that
20%.
15-20% range. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're in that ballpark.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
talking like $15 million valuation, something like that.
in that
Pre-money.
ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah. Why, so again, why? I mean, that's a lot of dilution, right? If you believe it's going to be big, that's a lot of dilution. You absolutely needed that 3.1 million, or how'd you go through that rationale?
Well, like I said, we didn't absolutely need it. We could have gone revenue neutral, but we wouldn't be growing anywhere near the way we can with the capital. So that's
Mhm.
definitely a factor. Um, but the other factor is just that, like one of our new investors is a cybersecurity investor.
Mhm.
The other lead investor for this round is TELUS, which is known as a big Canadian, well, the biggest, I think, Canadian telecommunications operator, but they are also a huge health division.
Mhm.
So they have a huge digital health or EMR EHR operation. So both of those really help us out. We have like good board members who are really helping us out, connecting us with partners, that kind of thing. Gives us a lot of credibility as well. We're in a trust business. Like what we're doing is enabling our customers to be trusted by their customers. So all those hospitals, clinics, insurance companies need to be able to trust them to curate or to handle their protected health information with due diligence, with security, with privacy. And so for us, trust is paramount. And so having these kinds of backers, it's a big value for us.
Understood. What's the team look like today? How many folks full time?
We're 15 now. We've
15.
been
Okay,
growing
cool.
rapidly since we raised.
And are you so where do you intend to invest most of that money? Or is it just a signal you want to send to the market and say, look, you can trust us. We've raised all this money. We're not going to shut down tomorrow.
It's all going into people.
What kind of
So,
people?
it's staff. So like, we've just like doubled or more than doubled, we're just doubling our engineering team.
How many are total engineers
And
today?
so we're at 9 on our engineering team today, including me, and we're still going to add a couple more by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so like we're scaling up that operations and engineering team, site reliability engineering, application support engineering, core engineering, all that stuff. We want to scale. We need the platform to be scalable. It already was a highly scalable platform, but our goal is always to, again, trust, right? So we want to stay ahead of the market. So like the way we approach security is, most people are like, do you have a security team? Our whole company is a security team. People say, what's your scalability? We have built the whole product. It's like over engineered effectively. And we need to continue to do that. So always be ahead of the game so that so we don't have problems. I kind of harping on a broken record or something here, but
No, you're good.
it's super important for us.
15
Yeah.
folks, 9 engineers, hiring. When you guys look at retention, right, of these kinds of customers you're working with, what does net dollar retention look like year over year? Is it above 100?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. NRR is over 100. It's very good.
So I would consider very good compared to others, like somewhere in the 140% range. Are you that high?
Oh yeah. No, I don't think we're quite there. I think I think it's like 1.1 or 1.2, something like that.
Okay, so like 120%. I would say that's
Something like
that's
that.
that's like above average. But
Yeah.
it's crazy when you look at a lot of evaluations happening today. Some of the evaluations where you're seeing 40 and 50x multiples are ones where net dollar retention is like 150%. Even if revenue growth overall is slower, but your NDRs are really high, that's by far where the premium valuations are happening today. So I'm actually surprised that did you guys run a competition on this seed round? I'm actually surprised that you did this at 15 million. I've seen with your same comps raising it like 30 and 40 pre. It sounds like you optimize for strategics here though.
Strategics. And the other things I want to say, Nathan, is that it's like the business we're in is not currently like a sexy VC area. It's like platforms were kind of super sexy like maybe 10 years ago. Right now it's not as much.
I mean, what's sexy is you went from 50,000 bucks a month in revenue to 150,000 bucks in revenue in the last 18 months. Who cares? I mean, the more niche you are, the better. The more vertical you are, the better. The bigger moat you can build. I don't agree with the statement that you're in a not sexy space.
We are. I think we are. I love it. I wouldn't be anywhere else. And then the
Yeah.
other thing is, we're a Canadian company, so we don't get the Silicon Valley. If we were a Silicon Valley company, yeah, we would have. It would be a different story, but you know what?
Well, I mean, no one's in Silicon Valley right now. Everyone's behind their Zoom screens. Anyways, I guess what I'm asking, did you run a process or was this the one term sheet you looked at that you went with?
Yeah, no, I think we had multiple. I'm not sure, to be honest. I know that we had some
You let
like
Balaji handle all that?
He's the CEO, right? I'm the CTO. I'm not the frontline fundraiser.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
What's next?
We feel we got a good deal.
Talk to me more
I think
about
we feel we got
engineering
a good
stuff.
deal. We have
So,
good
so what's
investors.
next? What's next on the engineering side of things? What's the next product look like? Product release?
A big push for us is like multi-cloud support. So we want to have the ability to support like AWS and Azure. We're pretty focused on Azure right now. AWS is a big deal for our customers, and so that's like the big push, probably one of our biggest ones. But always it's like scalability. So like right now, for example, with Azure, we're hitting quota limits because we're running like a lot of resources. I mean, it's like 750 different VMs and databases, which may not seem that much for some people running enterprise stuff, but we were certainly hitting quota limits. And so we had to like re-architect around some technical stuff around subscriptions they have. So the other aspect of it is that's really important is, what do our customers really value? And in the end, like I mentioned, trust. So how does that come through? What it comes through is our customers go to sell to a insurance company or hospital, and they get they go into an assessment process. So the hospital says, okay, here's a questionnaire. Our security team, our compliance team provides a questionnaire to the customer. So let's say to Inkblot or to Karen or any of our other customers. And it could be 150 questions. I'm working on one right now. It's 330 questions. So it's not small. We provide a lot of guidance to our customers on those questionnaires. So we can pretty much tell them how, so we provide guarantees. And this is what really differentiates us from like an Amazon or an Azure is, for MedStack, firewalls are on by default and our customers can't turn them off. We encrypt all incoming communications by default. You can't turn it off. We back up everything that our customers have and you can't turn it off.
There you guys have it. I feel like if you're looking at using MedStack, you want to hear from Simon talking about all this tech stuff that I do not understand. So Simon, this makes a lot of sense. I'm glad to get the second half of the story here with you coming on, but we're out of time for now. Let's wrap up with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
High Output Management by Andy Grove. Everybody should read that. It's classic.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Toby Latke with Shopify. He's amazing.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building the business?
I mean, I'm just checking out Almanac right now. We're just trying it out, but it's pretty cool.
Almanac. Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Yeah, around 9 hours of sleep.
Okay. And what's your situation, Simon? Married, single, kids?
I'm single.
Okay. No kiddos. How old are you?
44.
44. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
I wish I knew when I was 20. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd go back in time and change anything.
And nothing you would change, just something you wish you knew.
I wish I knew how to get good coffee back then. You couldn't get it around here.
This is really for someone else who's listening today who might be 20 years old. What's something they could learn from you, right? Something you wish you knew.
Sure. Okay. That's a reasonable question. I think, I hadn't kind of opened my mind at that point. I was very tech oriented. I hadn't opened my mind to the possibility, the interest of like designing and developing businesses as a really interesting mental exercise, something you can really get into and work on, sort of using your brain and it's not just like smoozing. It's like a lot of really hard work and interesting design development activities.
Guys, digital health applications, use medstack.co for privacy and security compliance. Growth rate's impressive here. 18 months ago, doing $50,000 a month in revenue, now doing over $150,000 a month in revenue, almost about to break $2 million run rate as they look to scale. $3.1 million seed round recently, sold 15 to 20% of the business as Simon scales up here. They've got a nine folks on the engineering team, hiring fast, total team 15 as they look to build out other products for these digital health applications. Simon, thank you for taking us to the top.
You're welcome. Thank you, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.